Greetings, my friends. It's your friendly neighborhood PhD bringing you another episode of the Beyond Report on this July the 27th, 2021. As always, if you like the content, please click a like, subscribe, and share. It does help the growth of the channel, bringing more content to you. Bit of a somber day today, and I thought that I'd pay tribute to a close friend, one of the best that I've ever had. um, Matthew Cravens, Matt, as we called him. He passed away 20 years ago today, and I was telling a friend earlier today, I don't know that I could have grieved any more had it been my own brother. Um, Matt and I were childhood friends. We grew up together, remained friends through high school and college. Um, I, sh- I say these things not just to say give tribute to Matt, but uh, a lot of what he did in collaboration with me and another friend of ours, Cliff Owen, um, led in many ways or planted seeds for things like Burton Beyond and the Institute of Biblical Anthropology. And I'll explain a little bit of that as I go on. But Matt was an extraordinary individual. Like I said, we grew up together, camping, playing music together. He was a gifted violinist, trumpet player, piano player, um, um, just interested in everything, a polymath, to be sure. A soldier. He was in the Army National Guard, and even did a tour in Bosnia. Um, uh, Ardent patriot. But even more than that, he was a kingdom patriot. He was an amazing man of God, and I'm privileged to have known him as my best friend. And one of the things that, um, in addition to all the inside jokes and his just general gregariousness and good humor, one of the things that I was um, shaped in many ways by was the interest that he and I and our friend Cliff had in the supernatural and all things biblical. We would, I can remember on a number of occasions, not only at his house and my house growing up, but taking time out to look through our parents' libraries for books on strange topics and information on strange topics. This is a generation before the internet. Um, we were constantly researching things. We would do it at school too. If we could find an off period, we'd all go to the library and dig up material on it. So mythology, history, religion, the Bible, they equally fascinated us. And as we got older, particularly in our college years, we formed the West Texas Paranormal Research Society, which was very much a Christian approach to uh, paranormal studies and paranormal investigation. We even did some deliverance ministry um, as part of our work, um, but it laid the groundwork in a lot of ways for what I do now. And in fact, the collection of topical books and uh, biblical studies material, the library that I've been gathering for the Institute of Biblical Anthropology for the brick and mortar operation. Um, I've always called the library, uh, even when the institute was only virtual. I've always called it the Matthew Logan Cravens library, and so his name will forever be, or as long as the IBA is around, will forever be memorialized in the corpus of the Institute's library. Um, all of its hard copy and digital material alike. And as I say, he continues to shape what I do today, and my life probably would have taken a very different direction had it not been for his friendship, his brotherhood, um, and the faith that we shared in Jesus Christ. And I miss him daily, uh, very often on this day especially. But I felt that it was fitting to pay tribute uh, to a man whose legacy, for anybody who knew him, is indeed lasting. And Godspeed, old boy. Um, we'll meet one day, but there's kingdom work on my end to keep doing. But you're never far from my thoughts, brother. So I wanted to give a little snapshot of Matt Cravens just because he was an amazing individual. And as I say, so much of what I do now is a direct byproduct of those conversations and investigations and research that we did so many years ago when we were much younger men. Um, and for my part, continue to do this day as a tribute, at least in part a tribute to him and his memory. All right. I should also mention too that in keeping with my friends' good contributions, that as all of you know who follow me, the Institute of Biblical Anthropology is devoted to understanding the context of the Bible and the supernatural worldview that it presents. And I am blessed to have so many good students who are interested, invested in this material, and just want to learn more about the supernatural realities. And I don't think, given the events that are transpiring before us, I don't think that it's ever been more important to be in tune with the context of the Bible and the supernatural reality that we live in. Um, and there are many avenues you might take in terms of studying the Bible and how it presents that. And I offer one of them. I proudly offer one of them, um, a curriculum that I believe is timely, one that I have put a lot of thought into for years and years and years, and which people can take advantage of. And I'm actually offering another sale this week on the certification programs. They're $125 each for the next session that begins August the 1st, and you can study things like biblical anthropology. All of these are 12 course modules, biblical demonology, preternatural morphology, which is the so-called Monsters 101 course, and mythology and the newer ancient Near Eastern mythology, if you want to study more of the history of the region. And of course, a continuance of that is Mediterranean civilization, which also studies another big portion of the biblical world. So now is a great time to enlist, as it were, with the Institute of Biblical Anthropology and study with me these fascinating topics and join all these wonderful people who are also studying this material and becoming scholars in and of their own right. Um, if you're interested in that, email me at professorburton@yahoo.com, and you can save a lot and get registered. You're just an invoice away from doing so. And whatever you do, whatever avenue you decide to take in terms of studying the Bible, that's the key, is to study the Bible. Study it in its context. Study it for the word that it gives and the hope that it gives and the faith that it gives, and rest assured that it's on a foundation, a firm foundation of not just testimony and the inherent value of its word, but also historically, archaeologically, anthropology. There's so much that testifies to the veracity and the historicity and the truth of the Bible. And so that's really the key, is whether you study with me, whether you study with any of my colleagues or peers that do this kind of work, whatever you do, study the Bible. Get literate in the Word. That's essentially what God tells us to do anyway. When Jesus gives us the Great Commission to go forth and make disciples, you have to have some conversancy in the Word to be able to do that. And so it's never been more important. I don't think there's ever been more important a time in the world to be literate in the Bible, and you can improve that by studying with the Institute of Biblical Anthropology. Well, that's all I've got for today, and thank you for listening and uh, for hearing my tribute to my good friend. Um, I'll never run out of things to say to him, and again, um, I just thank everybody who supported Burton Beyond and the Institute of Biblical Anthropology, and continue to with prayers and um, with your purchases of books and courses and videos and things of that nature. Thank you so much. I thank God every day for all of you. All right. Well, I will see you soon. Stay tuned for more news and things transpiring at Burton Beyond and the Institute of Biblical Anthropology, and I will see you very soon. Godspeed.